Morning again, guys. Here we are again at Hinckley Test Centre. You can see that we parked in a different place now, and we're just going to move forward and around. This is test route number 2. We turn right out of the car park here. Now, quite important here, you see where it says Bridge Road. There's a train station down there. Lots of pedestrians walking up Bridge Road, so we'll just be careful as we move out. Make sure that it's clear. We're going to come out of here, we're going to turn right out of the car park and then right onto the main road. So we've got to try and position ourselves for a right turn onto Brookside. I was going to say Brookside Road, but it's actually just called Brookside. So this is test route number 2 of 12. If you hit the subscribe button, eventually you'll be able to see the other 11. Certainly number 1 is already on there. And the rest of them are being filmed as we speak. There we are, we're on test route number 2 for Hinckley Test Centre. What we're doing is we're proceeding along the road now. We're coming down to the traffic lights. Just going to give this fella a bit of time to see what he's doing. A little bit of space. I think he's just parking there so we can move on. When we get to the traffic lights here, we're going to turn right. Turning right here will take us into Rugby Road. And there we go. So they've recently built a new route. I say recently, it's been here a few years, so I suppose now they've built this junction here. It is a roundabout, so be careful, look to your right, make sure that it's clear. It usually is. I'm just putting a Greg's up there now, so that's good news. And we're just going to follow this road around. And again, we just stay in our lane, and that's going to take us off of the roundabout and down the road here. We're going underneath the railway bridge. There's a low bridge, so make sure you duck as you go under. You don't want to, you know, scrape your head. And at the traffic lights, we're going to turn left. These lights are quite notorious for being on red for what seems like an eternity all the time. Also quite notorious, this junction, but it's a little bit of an accident black spot, people tell me. It's where there's quite a few accidents, and a few weeks ago there was like flowers, like a tribute on the railings. They seem to have disappeared. But here we go. Now we're turning left at the traffic lights, and that's taking us into Westfield Road. Along here now, the speed bumps here. The thing about the speed bumps is you want to be doing just under 20. You can be in third gear, that's fine, but just under 20 as you go over the speed bumps, and that's just been nice to the car really. And we're going to turn left at the mini roundabout, and there's a speed bump on the mini roundabout anyway, but we'll be dropping the car a little bit slower than that this time, just to make sure it's clear. And that takes us down this road here past the school. More speed bumps, so same thing applies really. You want to have the car just under 20 as you go through. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to accelerate excessively in between the speed bumps. You want to keep a steady pace. So at 24 now, just going to ease the car down a little bit, get just under about 19, that's fine, we'll take it over there. And again, the same thing towards the next speed bump. Now we're going to take the next road on the right, and that's just here. So you see the green there, and this is the one we need. We're turning there. This is called King George's Way. I think it said King's Cross then. I don't know where I am. King George's Way, that is. We go all the way to the end of King George's Way. We're going to turn left at the end. So you get your instruction to turn left, but be careful again, there's a junction on the left here. So be careful with your indicator, make sure you don't indicate too early. And this is going to take us on to Coventry Road. We know that Coventry Road is quite a busy road. So we're just going to wait for a safe space and then move out. On Coventry Road here, it's quite a wide road. It is a 30-mile-an-hour road, so be careful here again, not to go over the speed limit. We're going to take the second right. They're fairly close to each other. That's the first right there, and we want the second one where that white van is coming out of now, and that's called THIRLEMERE Road. THIRLEMERE Road's quite narrow, so make sure that you don't cut the corner as you turn into it. Just going to follow this road down, and again you can see we've got cars parked on either side of the road here now, so there's a high probability along this road that you may run into a kind of meeting situation, but you have plenty of gaps on either side of the road here really to use, where you can just let people come through if they wish to. So carrying on, we've been quite lucky today, no oncoming cars. So we're going to turn right when we get to the end of this road. We get back into our side of the road there after the parked cars are finished. And then we turn in right. Along here, this is Trent Road now that we're on. And we're going to continue along here, and then we're going to turn left in a few seconds. So it's going to be the next road on the left, and that's opposite the kind of co-op and the Tin Hat pub into GLENBARR Drive. Nice easy one, no real problems there. And but again, GLENBARR Drive can be quite busy, and we can see there's cars parked not in our way really, but kind of we can't really see very far down the road. So again, do make sure it's clear before you commit yourself into the space. Good. So I don't know why I'm saying good. So we're going to turn right when we get to the end of this road here now. Already we can see there's something turning in, so we're going to wait here. Range Rover. I thought it was a taxi at first. There you go. So we're turning right onto ROSTON Drive. Someone turning in here, we'll just let him go first of all, and then we go. We're onto ROSTON Drive. Quite a wide road. They may ask you to pull in and park on the left and just get you to drive on again here as well. That's one of the exercises they do. On your test, don't be surprised if you have to stop and start 5 or 6 times for different exercises and things. But we're going to take the next road on the left. And that next road on the left is where this, I keep calling out the pubs, don't I? I don't go in any of these pubs, you know. Just like to point that out, just put that out there. The Flintlock. I've never been in any of them. I promise. And then we're going past Sainsbury's along this road here now. I'm just going to hold up a little bit. There's no room for me to get through. So I'm just going to hang well back and let the road clear. Let him close his door. Yeah, let the road clear, and then I can carry on. And because I've hung back, I've made sure that I've not become part of the problem, and I've let it clear, and we've moved on. And that's kind of the best way to deal with things like that, really. As we continue along here, at some point we're going to be turning right. And I know the junction, I can't remember the name of the road. I'm not very good at remembering these roads, but you'll see in the text at the bottom, in the subtitle at the bottom, what all these roads are called. Bottom of the screen. It's what Seaforth Drive, of course it's Seaforth Drive. Everybody knows that, don't they? There you go, we're gonna turn right into here. Then along here, past this Jag always seems to be parked there. I've never seen it move. And we're gonna take the next left at the top of this hill, and that's gonna be Dumblain Way. That is one I can remember. So again, you can see that we're working our way through a kind of housing estate. The thing that they're looking at here really is how you deal with the you know, small spaces like this one. We went through that one in first gear, and how you deal with the oncoming traffic and things like that. So we're turning left at the end onto Outlands Drive. All the way along Outlands Drive to the end of it. Again, a fairly long road, quite wide, not really much happening, but you'll see why they're bringing us down here in a few seconds. And that's because we're going to turn right at the end, and it's not the easiest road to turn right onto. Just going to continue along this road now. We're coming towards the end of it. There's a junction on your right there, so be careful again about your indicator. You can put the signal on now. Looking at the road markings, it's telling us which lane to go into to be able to turn right. So we'll do what they say. So we're turning onto Normandy Way. Most people will call it the bypass. It's officially called Normandy Way. This time it's fairly clear, we can get onto it fairly quickly. It's a quick road though, it's a 50-mile-an-hour road. So what we have to do now is get the speed up to the speed of the road, not necessarily to the speed limit, but more to the speed of the road, the kind of the pace that the rest of the traffic is going. So we're doing 43 now only. But we're not losing any space from the car in front. So we're going up to the speed of the road without breaking the speed limit. As we come to the traffic light here, traffic island, we're going to turn right, and that's going to be the third exit. So here we are, we're turning right at a roundabout. You'll notice on a lot of these driving test routes that you're going to turn right at roundabouts. And that is so they can watch you do your lifesaver look. Again, if you're not sure what a lifesaver look is, speak to your instructor and he will explain, she will explain it to you. Just going to get down to just under 20 to go over these speed bumps now. They will explain it to you. It's very, very important in terms of whether you pass or fail your test. I'm losing my voice. That's not good. It's quite early in the morning. And I have a full day of instructing ahead of me, so I'm not looking for sympathy, but if there is any, I will take it. We're going over the speed bumps now along this road here. Again, I'm not sure, I think this might be called WYKIN Road. I'm not quite sure though, but you'll know it if you're local to Hinckley. You'll know it quite well. It is called WYKIN Road, I'm pretty sure of that. Going over the speed bumps now, coming down towards a school, and outside this school there's give way lines, and there's a sign that says we must give way to oncoming traffic for the first one. It looks pretty clear at the moment, so we'll go through there. And on this next one we have priority this time. Hopefully that sun's not too bad for you. We'll go through that way as well. Sunny in January, you know, that's a bit of a bonus, so we're not going to moan too much about it, I don't think. But hopefully it's not, you can still see what's going on. We'll turn left when we get to the mini roundabout here. And that's taken us from WYKIN Road into Stoke Road. Now this is Stoke Road. Just for a bit of kind of context, we're coming away from the town centre along Stoke Road, and we're heading towards Halford stroke Morrison's, that roundabout there. So that's where we are now. There'll be a school on the left as well, to give you a bit of idea about where we are. That is called, I'm not quite sure what it's called. Lots of speed bumps though. People moan about these speed bumps all the time. Dorothy Goodman School. People moan about these speed bumps all the time because they're a bit excessive, really, to be fair. I'm not surprised people moan. When we get to the roundabout though, we're going to turn right, and that's going to be the third exit. So again, we're turning right at the roundabout. They love that. They love to get you to turn right at roundabouts. They want to see you do this look. So I'll just demonstrate it for you, kind of. It's the third exit. Well, it's actually the fourth exit. There's one, there's two. So as we're coming towards the one before the one we want, I'm going to check the left mirrors, signal for left, check the mirror again, that's lifesaver look, and then I'm going to move out onto the left hand lane. So that's what you need to do. Make sure you get that second look in that left hand door mirror in. This is a 40-mile-an-hour road. This now, again, we're back onto Normandy Way, which people will refer to as the bypass or the ring road. We're on Normandy Way. It's a 40-mile-an-hour road. Get yourself up to 40. Don't be doing 35 down here if it's clear in front of you. Get yourself up to the speed, because it's a busy road and there will be things behind you. And if you're doing 35 along here, it's clear in front of you, you're doing 35, and there are people on your tail, you can be said to be holding them up, can't you? So get yourself up to 40. And when you get on a 50 road, the same rule really applies. Get yourself up to the speed limit if you can. Don't be holding people up. You know, if it's safe to do that, not saying do it every time to do that, then definitely get yourself up there. When we get to the traffic lights, we're going to turn right. You can see I've positioned the car ready to go into this right turn lane almost immediately. Nice safe position here. I'm just going to wait for my gap and take the car round. This is taking us into Ashby Road, and we're now heading back toward not the test centre, but towards the town centre. So we're coming along Ashby Road, and it's taking us in that direction. That's going to take us back towards the town centre. This is a 30-mile-an-hour road, so you will have just come off the 40s and you're back into the 30s now. So again, this is a key thing where people kind of slip up, and that they're still in that kind of mode, that 40-mile-an-hour mode, if you like, and that's still in their mind, and they just drift above the speed limit. And of course, now you start to go downhill, you're already above the speed limit, and you'll get caught out. You really will. But we're going to carry along this road, making sure that we don't break the speed limit, and we're going to go all the way to the top of the road, top of the hill, where there are some traffic lights. So we're just going to carry on along here. There's an ambulance pulling out in front of us. He's a long way ahead of us. No need to worry about him. So it's him. Could be a her, couldn't it? I suppose I should say it. That's just as bad, isn't it, really? Oh, well, there you go. It's impossible to know what to say these days, isn't it, really? Anyway, we're going to turn left at the roundabout. At the roundabout. What am I talking about? At the traffic lights here. So we just wait here. There's a cycle lane in front of us, so we'll keep that clear. The left turn here is taking us from Ashby Road into Derby Road. Also, you'll find on the playlist for this for these test routes, there's a couple of videos. One is about kind of good tips in order, the 5 best tips, I think are 5 best tips in order to pass your driving test, and another one is about booking your test, and I would recommend that you watch both of those because you'll be quite shocked, particularly at the one about booking your test. Okay, I think it says something like if you've got a test booked, you need to watch this video, and it's quite a shocker, so do have a look at that one as well. We're going to go straight ahead at these lights though, and that's going to take us past B&Q. B&Q, where I've spent a bit of time recently, just done out the bedroom, bathroom next. It never ends, does it? I don't know how I'm going to do the bathroom. I've no experience at doing bathrooms at all. Anyway, we'll give it a go. So we're going past B&Q, along here. This might be called New Buildings, this road, I'm not quite sure. I think it might be called that. Don't know why that, I think that, but there it is. We're going to turn left, we're going to go round to the left though, at this, well, we've got it actually, it's just a bend in the road, but at this crossing, and that's going to take us into Castle Street. It is called New Buildings. Oh my god, I'm getting better at this. There you go. We're turning into Castle Street just when the lights go back to green for us, which they're just about to do. See, the car that was ahead of us there went over the line on amber. Try not to do that. Try where it's just a normal traffic lights like that, normal sequence. Try and go over the line on green. There are some crossings where you can go over on amber. But not that one, that wasn't one of them. Okay, so we're going to go right when we get to the end of this road, and again this is a dodgy one. Well, I say dodgy, it's not the easiest one to do. We've come down to the end of this road here. This is, and we're turning into London Road, and oh, this was Castle Street, wasn't it? We're turning into London Road, and we're going to turn right. And on the view to your left isn't that brilliant, so it's not that easy to get out of, but there we go. Today it's not that busy, and we've managed to get out. We're back onto London Road now. And we're just going to follow this road down. And again, at this point, you know, you're going to start to realise that you're well into the test. It's gone on for a long time. It looks like you're on the way back. Do keep your concentration level at a real peak, so that you don't miss anything. It doesn't look like there's too much happening along this road today. Sometimes it can be very, very, very busy, particularly at school times when there's lots of students walking around and, you know, making their way to school and things. But when we come to the traffic lights here, we're going to turn right. So at the present, the lights are on green, so that means we're just going to wait in the centre of the junction for a space. Normally the green arrow will come on as well, but I think the bulb's gone, so it's not working. It didn't work earlier on today, but there's a space for us there. I'm just going to move into the space, and again the green arrow didn't work, so I imagine the bulb has gone on that one. So this is now taking us back into Brookside, and Brookside, as you know, is where the test centre is. Lots of speed bumps again. So again, we want to be just under 20 really. We can be in third gear, just around about 20 miles an hour. We want to be nice to the car. We want to be nice to the car but not too slow for the rest of the people around us. It's a bit of a kind of catch-22 really. So nice and steady along this road. You can see we've got parked cars on our side, which means we might need to give way. Actually pretty clear at the moment, so no problems. Just slow down a little bit for that one. That's that. Hope there's speed bumps, and I look, there's speed bumps all the way along this road really, so we just have to be careful. Again, there's a parked car that's in our way. Again, pretty clear. Oh, actually there's someone coming along, so we just hang on here. We'll let him come through. He's 4x4, and we'll let this fella come through as well. Neither of them thanked us. Did you notice that? Oh well, it don't matter, does it really? And now we're just gonna, again, we've got this thing here. Got a couple of dogs playing up on the right and on the left there. A couple of Labradors giving the old owner a bit of a torrid time. There we go, we're coming back towards the test centre now. A quite important point here. So we're going to turn right into the car park that's outside the test centre. Be careful here not to indicate until you're level with Bridge Road. There you go. So just before the crossing. And as you turn into here, just drop the car into first gear and use your clutch control to manoeuvre yourself around. You can see it's quite busy car park, can't you? And you'll be asked just to park up here, and this is where you'll get your results. And that is test route number 2 for Hinckley, 2 of 12. Hit the subscribe and you can watch the other 11 videos.